of 136, but relatively new in terms of international cricket, and a mammoth task ahead.
He's the last of the recognised or the specialised batsmen after this, very much in case of the tail awaiting Pakistan. So this was such an important wicket. AB de Villiers played really well. He was keeping the innings together. He played aggressively when he had to, but unfortunately just tried to give himself too much room to work that one through the offside.
Celebrations galore for Pakistan. At the same stage, Pakistan were 48 for 1. Hadn't quite cut loose as yet. Oh, close. Very close. 2 runs and a wicket from that one. A big wicket, the one of AB de Villiers. 53 for 5. This is what happened in the power play then. Expect to see shots and more shots. AB de Villiers and Henry Davids, and then outfoxed by the slower delivery. Good to see Junaid Khan back in proceedings, as it were, having been injured after the first Test match. AB de Villiers played some magnificent shots. Half du Plessis going, then Chris Morris elevated in the order, gone straight away, as was Justin on top. And the last man to go, de Villiers, dismissed by Irfan. So that power play, having started so promisingly for South Africa and having ended quite well in terms of runs, they've lost too many wickets. Got him! That's another one. It's Gul again. He's on fire.
What a catch at backward point. Umar Gul, absolutely brilliant, but well supported. What a sensational catch. Magnificent T20 cricket by Pakistan, displaying all the skills that have made them so successful in this version of the game. Shahzad taking an absolute blinder at backward point. And Umar Gul, he's loving this. He didn't have much luck during the Test matches, but it's all coming together for him. Not so for South Africa. Biardeen gone for naught. 53 for 6.
Well, the Pakistan supporters who've turned up here, and there are many of them, they'll be very happy with what's going on. Have been thoroughly entertained. Pakistan, first of all, with the bat in hand, and now with ball in hand, have been magnificent.
5 to come.
What a start for Umar Gul. Robin Peterson walks out to the middle. I would not have thought that he'd walk out in the 7th over. Not in his wildest dreams, even with such a big score being chased. Target to get. But he's got to walk out. It's the 7th over. Umar Gul, I said what a start. He's got 4 for.
In 7 deliveries. So that's absolutely sensational.
And it's been first baller after first baller. Chris Morris, first baller. This is Umar Gul and what he's done in T20 internationals. His best performances. Have a look at that. 4 for 3. Unbelievable. He's making a habit of it as well. Look at that. 4 for 25, 4 for 13, 4 for 8, 5 for 6. Nudged onto the onside, and it'll just be a single. Folks, it's Umar Gul who's just blown South Africa away. This is the latest of his wickets. It's a superb catch by Ahmed Shahzad. And Biardeen perhaps feels that he's a little unlucky. There's where he's been, Umar Gul. It's on target, and it's got the job done. Those are all the deliveries he's bowled. Well, to the right-handers. 50 for 1, 53 for 6. they're flying now. Pakistan.
Well, they got their tails up. Different side to the one that got absolutely demolished by South Africa in the Test series, that's for sure. Shorter delivery this time, well struck by David Miller, and good fielding again by Shahzad at backward point. So they're thriving, Pakistan. They look a confident unit in this version of the game. Got a very good bowling attack for T20 cricket. The spinners haven't even bowled.
They got pitched outside leg there. And they're probably going on to hit the stumps, perhaps. It might be bouncing over as well, but yeah, with the length of it, yeah, bouncing over as well.
Pitch outside and going way over. We thought Umar Gul would be a threat, but we thought the spinners would be the real threat. They haven't got into the action yet.
They haven't passed the first test. And it just so seemed South Africa had. They had put Pakistan under pressure at 1 down for 50. And it was going to be the turn of the spinners after the power play. 54 for 6.
Long time ago. South Africa not on that list.
Mohammad Hafiz brings himself on. Oh, he's had a magnificent day. All he's touched has turned to gold, really. Apart from the start of the bowling innings, his bowlers didn't quite bowl as he'd have liked.
He's a very good bowler to left-handers, so the ideal time for him to come into the attack with 2 left-handers at the crease.
They call him the Professor, Hafiz, and it's because he thinks the game. He likes to talk about the game with his teammates. Former players as well. It's all he wants to talk about, enjoys it immensely. He'd have wanted a break from it from the test matches. Or so one would think.
Well, if he did, he'd be very happy today because he batted beautifully this morning, so his enthusiasm and intensity and willingness to play will be back. I was saying gave him a torrid time in the Test series. They just kept knocking him over all the time. No Dalstain today.
Oh, just a touch too full for that sweep shot. It's a hard hitter as Dave Miller.
The power sweep.
It'll be somewhat getting their own back, isn't it, Kepler? In terms of Pakistan and the pasting they got in the test matches, and what they'll want to do in the limited overs version is, if they get into winning positions, make sure they win well.
Absolutely, they want to resurrect this tour. Go back home with their heads held high, and they can do that in the shorter versions of the game.
Couple on upper. 7 off the over, 61 for 6.
I suppose it's inevitable the question will come up again. South Africa is so good as far as test matches are concerned, but a real struggle in the T20 format. Why is that?
You look at South Africa's batting order and remember the test matches, and of those names, de Villiers, du Plessis, Peterson and Abbott, who was a replacement really in the test matches, replacement for Callis, who got injured. It's just 4 of the names out of 11. that are in the limited over side and the 2020 side. A few given a rest. But it's generally the case when it comes to South Africa's limited over side. They're still trying to find combinations, and it's been a bit of a struggle. Tougher times now with Ajmal onto ball.
It'll be interesting to see. Oh, close, very close. What will be interesting to see is if South Africa do decide to pick what they believe their best T20 and one-day combination is, what that will be when players aren't rested, when everybody's available. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen that for quite a long time, in fact. So at some point, hopefully that will happen, especially in the one-day format before the Champions Trophy. I think it's important.
Go start side.
Very difficult now for David Miller and for Robin Peterson to try and resurrect this innings. The required rate already up to 11.6. South Africa have lost 6 wickets. So what do? They just try and build it up a little bit, and try and have a respectable effort to try and make the score look a bit better, or do they have a real conscious effort to try and maybe, well, get close to the score? If they do that, then they can't afford to take too much time out in the middle.
Yeah, I think caution. I think you're sitting in the change room, you're just thinking take it as deep as possible. Try and work towards whenever the launch pad will have to be. And you've got to get both these players in, particularly David Miller, so that he can try and do what's seemingly impossible towards the end. But they can't just give it up. No prizes for getting close.
And you won't launch beside Ajmal in a hurry either, that's for sure. So a difficult situation for them to deal with right now.
What a start for Ajmal. Walks in, and just a couple of runs in his first over. 63 for 6.
The passion, the adulation, the heroes. The new season of tennis on Sky Sports. Pure drama.
Sponsors KFC Mini Cricket and is introducing these youngsters who are from Mothale Primary School to the game of cricket. And having been introduced to it, they'll be happy to be watching an international and also so heavily involved.
Played by David Miller in the gap. When you look at the South African batting line, it really is only the 6 specialist batsmen. So I think that they can possibly select a combination that bat a bit deeper, particularly against a very good bowling attack, a very good T20 attack. Because effectively, if you do that and you put Avi de Villiers at the top of the order, if something goes wrong there, then you're in big trouble.
Yeah, I think you look at Pakistan generally bat quite deep. In recent times, undecided there with that shot. Was looking for the sweep shot early on and then decided he was going to use a straight bat. By the time the ball's past him. But perhaps look at the T20 world champions, who's the West Indies, and their batting order. Yes, some would say bits and pieces and so forth, but they've got players down the order who can actually clear the boundary, who can bat for a significant cameo. And generally in the past, South Africa, you'd say, were blessed with many all-rounders who could bat quite well, so could cover both bases, those of batting and also of bowling, and having specialist bowlers all the way through. Got him! Oh, what a Beautiful catch.
Magnificent catch. Absolutely brilliant today. Everything they've touched has turned to gold.